Hi everyone, I hope you're all really well. This probably isn't the first video you were expecting from me, especially seeing as though I said I was going to put my Hoover review up. This video has taken me so much effort to do, not as in the past month or whatever, just today, right now. I've had so many interruptions, family coming around, people popping by with presents, people outside. So I finally got round to doing it. The reason I haven't had my Hoover video up earlier, or this video up earlier, is a little bit of procrastination, which I said it was something I would be tackling. Also, just not really having the time. This video, which is going to be showing you some of the wrapping paper and how I wrap things and the decorations, I had to leave this till later because I've not actually wrapped my presents until late this year. The Hoover video is being edited as we speak. I started it last night. I've just had so many other things, and I know they're excuses, but I'm getting over them. So I've had so many other things to do. This video would have been better if it was up a week ago, my boyfriend just pointed out. But it's not so much of a how-to wrap. I could do one of those in the future. It's just more of a, you know, how I wrap them. And the perfect opportunity to get wrapping supplies is in January. So see, that's why I did it this late. So what I'm going to do is show you some of the things I use for wrapping and then show you some of the presents and how I use them. I like my presents to look pretty. Most people do, they like the presentation, but it breaks my heart when the paper's torn off and thrown in the bin. And although I love fancy wrapping paper, I try not to buy it because it is just a huge waste of money to tear it off and throw it in the bin. I do splash out on a few rolls of nice wrapping paper, and I use, what do I use? Where is it? The majority of the paper I use is actually this round parcel paper. And I'm very fortunate that this is kind of in at the moment. You can find a lot of stuff on Pinterest where people are making decorations with this and using this to wrap the majority of the presents and then just sprucing up the paper, which is what I've done. The expensive paper, which I bought, I got 3 rolls of it. My boyfriend actually bought it. I said, go to Paper Chase and get something nice, and he bought this. And it is beautiful, but oh my word, it is messy. My house is covered in glitter. We haven't even used an entire roll of this because I've just wrapped a few presents up in it, and I think it's nice when you have a few sort of fancy glittery accent presents under the tree. Although I love to give nice looking presents sit under your tree for a while and they're essentially a decoration, so I like to have something that just stands out. So we do have another 2 rolls of this. I think it was buy 2 get 1 free, and this will last until next year, if not the year after. So there are my rolls of paper, which I just store. I don't have fancy storage. I don't have a great deal of paper, wrapping paper. I'm thinking if I have any birthday wrapping paper. I think I've used all my birthday wrapping paper. I usually just store it in one bag like that and then hang it up, and then it stays nice and neat and it goes in a cupboard and it's away from everything and it doesn't get torn and tatty. So I've bought a few staple items this year. I did splash out a little bit, it's not really splashing out, on one item, and it's something I've wanted for a long time, and it's this, which is a alphabet stamp set. I've been wanting to use something like this for ages, not just for Christmas presents, but for birthday presents as well. And I've been hunting around in, I was going to say Hobby Lobby there, but we don't have that, Hobbycraft. In Hobbycraft, and they're all very, very small. They have some wonderful stamps in Hobbycraft, but they're all a bit too small. On eBay, I've been looking. I found the ones on eBay to be a bit antique, and people are buying them because they're antique rather than using them. I found this in Paper Chase for £8 and I absolutely love it. They're a bit crazy. They're individual, each one is different, and I just love the quirky style. They've only got the capital letters rather than the little ones, which would have been nice, but then you'd probably have too many stamps. And I've been using these to stamp people's names on the cards that I attach on the presents. Ink pad, I think the paper chase one was a little bit expensive, so I got one, just a bog standard black ink pad from Hobbycraft, and that was £2. So for £10, I've got something that I can use for years to come. The only thing I'll need to do is get like a black ink bottle, and then I'll top up the ink pad, because I have found that that has started to run out, and I've only used it, I've had this for about 3 weeks now, and I found it is starting to dry out a little bit already. The other one, normal ribbon. I didn't buy, there was quite a few options, but I only bought one roll of this because I knew I wouldn't use it on every single present. It's got a nice wire, so you can bend it and shape it if you want to. You want to make nice ribbons. I can't remember the exact price of this. I know I got it from Aldi, which is a great store for unusual things. If you want something random, go into Aldi and go down the centre aisles, and they have got so much stuff there. And I've actually got some really good things from Aldi. I have a very heavy bottom non-stick frying pan. Cost me £16, which is a little bit expensive for Aldi, but it's a brilliant product. So I think this was about 99 pence, £1.50 for something like that. There's 4 metres of it, and it's brilliant, and this will be used for years to come. Another thing I got were these bells, 99 pence from the pound shop. I have got on my tree bigger versions. Just leave off. Probably won't go back on now. So I have bought them in the past, but I decided to use them for my tree. Please don't fall off now. Stay. Oh god, knocking everything. I got these, they were smaller, they were more colourful, and I have attached them to a present, and for £1, I think you can't go wrong. Again, I haven't used them all, so I can use those for years to come. This is my gold string. I bought this about 2-3 years ago, and I use it with these, which I bought this year. I actually bought these for something else, but they're perfect. They go with the brown paper. The stamps show up really well on them, and I can fit, I think I managed to fit 7 letters, the maximum, across, and I can actually fit 2 names on there. And I just use a bit of that with that and attach it to the present. These were from Hobbycraft, and I think they were £2 for a pack of 20. And last but not least, one of my favourite things this year are these Santa pegs. Now I'm not using these how you're meant to use them. They've got little suckers on the back there, and I think you're meant to attach them to a window, or I don't think it would stick to a wall. You're probably meant to stick them to a window, and then you've got the string, and then you peg your Christmas cards on. I have used these in the past, and because I get so many, such a variety of Christmas cards, I get huge ones, light ones, heavy ones, it just looks messy, it's dragging them all down. So I don't actually use them for their purpose. I actually cut the little string, and then you can take them off, and then you have a little Santa peg. If you want, you can actually use these like that and attach them to something else. Say if you have tinsel, or if you have lights on the wall or on the window, you can use these, attach a Christmas card, and actually peg it onto the light, or peg it onto anything that it'll fit on really. They're also really good for holding on decorations on your tree. If you've got a decoration that keeps falling, let's say this was falling off, you could just get it, peg it, it holds it in place, and it looks nice. But I have faith that that's not going to fall off. So I'll get some of my presents and show you what I've done with them. Okay, so I've got a nice selection here. I'm going to start off with this one. My mum came over a couple of weeks ago to go shopping, Christmas shopping, and she bought herself a dressing gown. and the dressing gown had ribbon wrapped around it for decorative purposes. And she gave me that ribbon because she wouldn't use it, and I've used it. You can see that, just like that. The ribbon, although it's velcroed, you'll be able to see because it's coming loose. The ribbon's actually got velcro on the back there, and it wasn't big enough to fit around both ways. It was too big on that one, too small on that one. But I've just sellotaped it, and it may look a little bit tatty from the back, but from the front, I think it looks quite nice. This is actually my boyfriend's present, so obviously when he takes off the paper, I'll be taking the ribbon and keeping it for next year. And that's what I love about sort of decorations that you can take from your presents and then reuse year after year after year. This is a gift for my mum and my stepdad, and this had to be kept upright. I've made them a bauble, a personalised bauble with things from their wedding. I dried my bouquet out. I put little bows in, just items that they've had from their wedding. I've put inside the bauble, but I've sort of laid them so it needed to be kept upright. So this box was a box from something I bought for the house. It was just a normal box. It was about this tall. I cut it down, opened it up, laid it flat, and then started to cover it in paper. You can see that I've resealed it there. Now the top, I was having a bit of trouble reattaching the top so it would sort of flip normally. However, I decided it would be better to just leave it, because I decorated it like that, and I was going to try and attach it like that so it folded in, but it was actually better just to put some holes, 2 holes in the bottom. I put that gold string that I've got. I tied a knot, but it wouldn't actually keep the string inside. So I've just put 2 small pieces of sellotape there so the string doesn't actually pull through. Tied a little knot just so it's neat. And then it sits nicely in there. So when they go to open it, all they have to do is pull the top, comes out, and they've got some tissue paper there. And it's a good idea to start keeping boxes in the run up to Christmas. Obviously when you get presents delivered, you get them in boxes. If you want to disguise what the present is, or you need to repost the present off, or if you just want something a bit sturdy, keep that box. You don't just have to wrap it up. I mean, you can just wrap the box up, but if you want the box to look a little more decorative, you can just take all the sellotape off, open it up, lay it flat, cover it in paper. I'll just show you this one, which I love. I love Lush. Lush are amazing. You go there, you buy the gift, and it's already wrapped. If you ever get anything from Lush, keep the box. I'm actually giving this to someone, so obviously they will get the box. But they can keep this box, keep the ribbon. Obviously they'll take the Lush tag off to tell you what's inside. And if you remove the tag, there you've got an absolutely beautiful box with a ribbon that you can just pop something inside, a bit of tissue paper, and then it's beautifully wrapped again. And I think I've got bits of bath bomb falling out on my arm. That smells divine. This was a bit of an unusual shaped present. This one is some rings, some, like, you know, the child's toy where you've got the one long piece and then you've got, I can't think of the word. They're like play rings that you put on, and it's got a rocking bottom. It's not a flat bottom. I decided to wrap this in tissue paper. It's unlikely she'll be unwrapping it herself because she's so little. But whenever I wrap something for children, small children or elderly people, I always use tissue paper, and I always use the smallest amount of sellotape that I can. One of the biggest mistakes people use is using too much sellotape. I've had presents that I just cannot get in because there's too much sellotape on. Like, all the creases are covered in sellotape. You don't need to do that. You just need small pieces and secure it. So for this little girl's present,
I've used tissue paper because it sounds good. We've got the little bell on. I've got her name tag, so I popped that on there. It was a very awkward present to wrap, so I'll just put that back on the tree. I've just secured it at the top there with sellotape. It is a bit scruffy, and kind of hidden it all with that. I'll need to recurl that one because it's uncurled. So yeah, if I would say anything, top tip is don't use much sellotape, and if you're wrapping elderly people's presents especially, because they struggle so much, don't use much sellotape, but if you can, use tissue paper, because tissue paper is so much easier to get in and tear off. Right. For example, this gift is for my stepdad. I've tried to keep it as simple as possible. He hates glitter, so I'm not going to wrap it in glitter paper. I've just used a nice red there. I've made my own bow with, where is it? So I've got this stuff. I cut it up, do a loop like that, do a loop like that. You get the idea. And I make my own decorative bows. I've used that and just put his name on, and on the back, I've tried to wrap it with as little sellotape as possible. I've only used 5 pieces to secure it, and I've left as many spaces as possible to get his fingers in. My stepdad has a bit of trouble with his hands, so wrapping something up really tight with not many places to tear off the paper is a bad idea for him because he'd never get in it. So that's nice and almost loose, I'd say. So I've sort of tailor wrapped that for him. This is just an idea of using the stamps directly on paper. I've kept it nice and simple, just secured it at the back. I don't think it needs to be perfect at the back. If it looks nice on the front while it sits on the floor, when you hand it to them, that's great. But to try and achieve perfection on the back is pointless, because A, they're going to rip it off as soon as they get it, and B, if it's under the tree, you're only going to see the front. So whenever I do folds, I try and keep the folds on the same side of the wrapping, and that's just gone straight on there with his name. Now I will cover my 2 mothers, my mum and my mother-in-law. This is my mother-in-law, and I've done pretty much the same. Brown paper, a single piece of ribbon, and Santa just secures that on. I originally had tried it with the gold string, and it was dangling. I didn't think it looked very good, so I just put that there, put Santa in, clipped it there, and I think that looks quite cute. The other one, my mother. My stepdad's going to hate me for this glitter paper. This is what the glitter paper looks like. It actually looks blue. I think when I first saw it, I thought it was blue, but it's actually black paper. I've kept it nice and neat on both sides, and I put that bell in and secured it on the back of the tag, and then just rolled some sticky paper, tape, when you sort of roll it around, make it double-sided, and stuck that on. And they are my presents. I have got glitter all on me now. I've been using brown paper for a couple of years now, just because it's so easy to get your hands on. It doesn't tear, it's quite thick. The problem with cheap wrapping paper, you can get cheap wrapping paper, is sometimes it's a bit too thin, and you can almost see what the present is on the underside. If you wrap a book, you can see the name of the book, and it tears very easy. So when you're trying to wrap things, it's tearing and you're having to wrap it double or around 3 times, and then you're wasting the paper when you're trying to save it. So that is my wrapping. If you've got any ideas of stuff you can use to wrap things that I haven't thought of, then let me know. This is what I used last year. These, where did I get these? I'm not sure where I got these from. Hold on. They're like little hearts and jewels, and I think I got these from a bag or a bracelet or something like that, where it all fell apart, and I decided to keep them and attach them to presents. And I bought, to go with it, some silver string, just silver.
to match them and attach them to the present, and I think they look really pretty. I actually forgot I had these, otherwise I probably would attach maybe a heart, something there, make it look even prettier. So yeah, let me know what you do, if you've got any ingenious things that you use for your presents. What do you use to wrap? Do you just use normal wrapping paper? Do you really not care what the presents look like? I know that some people don't care if they look pretty or they're just wrapped up. It's what's inside, and it is. But if they're sitting under my tree for 2 weeks, I like them to look a little bit pretty. So I will have the Hoover video up, the review video up. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. This video is obviously going to go up after Christmas because it's Christmas Eve today and it's late at night now. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Stay safe over the holiday period, and I will see you all in the new year. See you later.